today is Welcome Home. And this is a piece that was done in the Voices of Justice class. I teach it, I'm Dory Baisley. I teach it along with Sister Judith Royer, who is back there. And today is almost like the last day of the process that began in the fall, when our students interviewed men at the Francisco Homes, transitional housing for men on parole from life sentences. And we work with Francisco Homes in a terrific collaboration where we share stories, and then the students take the stories from interviews they've had, they bring their transcripts back to class, and from the transcripts, using the words they've gathered in these stories, they make dramatic presentations, pieces, poems, songs, whatever, any kind of dramatic piece they can put together. Then the class collaborates and makes one piece, which is what we're showing you today. And we think of this, the whole process involves a kind of communication that begins with the men at Francisco Homes. And first of all, I have to thank you for trusting us with your words, because you've given us your words. The students then take the words, then the students then become actors or give the words to actors, and then those are performed and given back to the storytellers in a public audience, and it's a circle of communication that is what we're part of kind of closing today. And to do that, I'd really like to thank Sister Teresa from Francisco Homes, Smitty and Dave, who did the organization that made our interaction with Francisco Homes so smooth and so easy and so creative. And I would also like to thank the theater department for making this part of their theater program. And we have a guest artist today from the theater department, Dr. Kevin Wetmore, who's the chairman of the department. Putting up this part of this collaboration. So the audience, you are the last part of this collaboration, and I thank you for your participation, and it begins right now. Take it away.
Who would have thought this would happen to you?
You knew the people you surrounded yourself with were not the right ones.
You decided to keep going, and as a result,
You ended up in jail!
You were never meant to be that person, but somehow it just happened.
it was miserable.
But you survived.
You survived! You survived the guards who did not care about your wellness.
You learn to stay out of trouble in prison and keep your head down.
They constantly try and put you down.
But you persevered and focused on yourself.
Ignoring the rest.
Every day starts about the same. The doors open, an officer hollering out,
Chow time!
and you walk in a single file line to breakfast. After that, you just go to your assignment. I was working textiles, making uniforms and clothes for the fire department and such, 20 cents an hour. And then sometimes you'd eat your lunch at work, or you go home to eat your lunch, and then it's back to work till you end your day right around dinner time, and then you just go through the process again.
Shout time!
Single file line to breakfast, then work, then 20 cents an hour, then lunch, then work again, then it's dinner, and you just go through the process again.
Chow time!
Single file line, breakfast, work, lunch, work, dinner, and just do it again.
Shout time!
Single file line, it's really not that exciting, just breakfast, then work, then lunch, then work, then dinner, and just do it again.
Chow time!
Single file line, 99% of it's really boring. It's not like the TV shows. Have to have a lot of patience to just do it again.
Chow time!
Single file line, 99% of it's really boring. Just going to eat, watching a little too much TV, showering, changing clothes, you just gotta do it all again.
Chow time!
Single file line, 99% of it's really boring. Just going to eat. Maybe 1% of it's really over the top exciting, you know? Bullets are flying, being attacked at night, you know? Gotta learn to survive. But most every day is about the same. Usually starts with the doors opening, an officer hollering,
Chow time! pane of broken glass.
Man, that wasn't very polite of you.
Fuck off, man. You started this fight.
Why are we doing this? We've been playing basketball together for 2 years now. What the hell?
It's because you're white.
Yeah.
And I'm Mexican.
Yeah, so what?
That's how prison is supposed to work. We're supposed to back up when I'm gonna fight victims. If not, I'll get fucked up even worse. That's just how it is and how it's gotta continue.
Man, why are we so busy breaking shit when we should be busy fixing our lives? Isn't that how prison is supposed to work?
The next day, the prison guard enters with a chair and a broom. He sits down in a chair in front of the prison cell with the broom in hand, staring at the panel.
Steve! What the hell are you?
Right here, boss.
Oh, goddamn time. Replace this panel. Take your time. I'm raking in double overtime to help replace this panel.
Steve begins sweeping up the broken glass.
Also, don't forget, you're breaking your body.
Man, I haven't received any training on this matter whatsoever. I don't know how I'm going to fix this. This could take hours.
Well, figure it out then. I don't mind sitting here for a few more hours.
Well, I don't want to pay for it if it breaks again.
What's another $70 in debt to you when you already owe us your life?
Steve struggles to put in the new window pane.
I could really use some help here. Could you at least get another inmate?
Damn. How many inmates does it take to change a goddamn window pane? Let's fix this window pane, boys.
All right, boss man.
Larry helps Steve up from the ground, and they begin working on the pane together.
Thanks. Don't mention it, because I ain't teaching you how to fix it either.
Steve looks up at the clock to see how long it will take him to pay off his debt.
Damn. $139. That's 40,000 minutes. Or 28 days. I'm getting too old for this. Where'd you come from?
No idea. I'm asleep. This is a dream, right?
We're in the shoe. I'm in the shoe. You're not supposed to be here.
Strange dream.
I'm not dreaming. This is not a fucking dream. I'm awake.
Okay, why are you so angry?
I've been in here for 8 months.
Okay. So I'm in your head, and you're in my dream.
Shit, I've got to get out of here.
Why are you here?
Why the fuck do you care? Assaulting a staff member.
Doesn't get you anywhere.
Evidently not.
So, what do you do in the shoe?
Books, mostly. Help yourself. I hope you like a wide variety of things to read.
No, I don't think I'm here to read a book.
You're not even real. This is what fucking solitary confinement does to you. 23 hours a day. I'm fucking losing it. Read a fucking book.
I'd rather just sit here.
Are you doing time? Life? We got something in common then?
You're a kid. You look so young.
I've been in a cage since I was 14. I've aged well. It's the lack of sunlight, I
Tell me about it. Where are we?
Folsom.
How many times you been in the shoe?
4.
You'd think once would do the trick.
What's your point?
I've seen enough to know that I don't want to be down here.
I get angry. I make bad choices.
Yeah, you're in good company.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Change your beliefs. Happens all the time. Is there something you love to do?
Started learning the guitar. Music.
Okay. Sing something.
Now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just shout. You know, make it real. Do it from the bone. Put down your script. Come on, let it out. What was behind that?
My mum.
I see.
My son. Caught in a gunfight not too long ago. Shit, man.
My mom's dead too. They found her in the desert, pills and booze. The fucking desert.
You know, it's also for doing life, you know? For the life I took, for the life I've lost, I deserve this!
You never really paid the price for some things.
Now, you know, someday we'll be out again. Yeah? And you'll be playing the guitar and I'll...
You what? Say it.
Well, I miss that coming home and sharing something with someone. You know, someone who you love. Those weird things that make life what life is, you know?
You know, I only had one serious relationship, and it was in high school, and she's sticking by me. Anything's possible.
Someone shouting at my door.
What?
My door in my cell.
Oh, right, yeah, you're dreaming and you're in... It's been a pleasure.
See you on the other side.
Anything's possible.
I need to just put my life together. I need to start being somebody different. Right? I've been this one person all these years. I know how to do that. Right? I know how to lie. I know how to cheat. I know how to steal. Right? I know how to manipulate. I know how to intimidate. I know how to do all those things, but do I know how to love? Do I know how to be appreciative? Do I know how to be humble? Right? Can I be contemplative and understanding about certain elements of things? Can I let stuff go? Do I have to have the last word? Talk to me. I always have to argue. Do I have to do these things? No, I don't. But you gotta remember, right, that all the women that I dated, right, were like-minded. Criminals, drug addicts, prostitutes, right? Those are the gals I was listening to, right? Righteous relationships with decent gals, so to speak, right? Maybe three. Okay.
Everything haunts me. You know, I hide the pain behind my eyes. I want a woman, but everything I've done, acceptance? No. The parole board, they make you remember everything. Everything, every detail, right? What they have on their paper, it's gold to them. They question my actions. I relive the moments with the family members there. They say whatever they want. Inside me, you know, I accept the things which I have done, and I'm locked in a box. I remember what freedom is. After 20 years, I want to reclaim my freedom. I want to love. I want to find someone who will accept me. I want my life back.
Light seeping from the darkness.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have my freedom, but what am I going to do with it?
The streets been calling me since I was 15 years old. I said the streets have been calling me since I was 15 years old. Children soaked in blood on Covina Street. Naive sons strapped up for war whose life isn't even defined yet. Black bodies swinging in the wind. My afternoon naps was spent at bus stops, and bedtime stories only ended in burnt buildings. Wiping my tears with broken glass. Only watching from the tables of your gentrified coffee shops. Tracing every line and every tattoo with your perception of me. Your baton, your gunshots. If you peel back my skin, I guarantee you'll shotgun got Shakur shots. A barrel made out of toothpicks out of Public Enemy cell. Skin is splashed in light from photographs of my ancestors bleeding on your American flag on hands and feet. I wonder if we still fight the same, given all my audacity in my life. I promise you. If I died tonight on this bus stop, there are still black boys outside waiting for someone to look at them. Suffocating beneath red waters and lashes of fire on our backs. Is my black offensive? You see bullets bounce off the ocean currents like middle passages, like riding my history on waves and carrying it with the speaker on my back, like black boys floating in the pool of blood. Dashikis in the 28 days of February is all some of us got. My grandfather once told me how he mugs sometimes to protect his smile. This is hell wearing the skin of a human. My heaven was the hood in this testament, so tell me, God, how does a free man move when he still has chains? Does it look like a child dipped in dark olive skin on concrete? Soldier once told me how he hugs his prison pillow ever so tender, like it was a black son who didn't know that he came from a black womb, a daughter who was robbed out of her own body. I know what it's like to be miles away from home. The blues sound like more like medleys of gunshots. Are you gonna tell me how to make love to my own colored corpse? Did it satisfy you when you lied on oath about your bullets? Because I think they taste more like jungle fever. You see, my brother once told me to never look a white man in the eyes so desperately, because all you see is your bones crushed silently. It looks like black boys smoking pipe dreams from an umbilical cord. You look like a target for a face, boy. And I bet you, if you hold my neck long enough, I guarantee you the doves will stop breathing too. Like my grandmother asking me which angel gave me these wings. You see, my probation officer was assigned at birth. Your job interview attire is dressed to oppress. What does it look like for the caged bird to escape and sing freely like dance, nigga? Like fight, nigga? They told us Sandra Bland had a familiar relationship with the noose, so silent that you can't hear the change in my voice, using my dead body for pro-pain after all my mother once told me America is pro-our pain, like a racist inauguration. You know what happens when you mix black anger and gasoline? I'll murk you before you try to throw me in jail for my melanin. I won't let you make a new home out of my own body, a premeditated end to your corruption. America is not done turning prisoners into fossil fuels. There's a price tag on your inside. My father once told me that if you can't swim, you go drown. If you can't swim, you go drown. If you, then you.
What's the worst thing you ever did before the age of 5? Bet you can't remember. Well, I can. I burned my house down. Not on purpose, mind you, it was an accident, but those flames swallowed up that old wooden house just the same. When the firemen came, I hid behind my mom with her sweater pulled over my head and my arms wrapped around her legs. If I can't see you, you can't see me. When my dad came home, he ran over my 1949 pedal car with his 47 Chevy. My dad was an Alabama farm boy who drank liquor right out of the bottle. Drank a lot of it. Big man. Took a lot to get drunk. Drank every day. One time on the way back from California from Mississippi, he dropped me and my mom off at a motel in Texas while he went to get himself a bottle and then forgot where he left us. We spent the whole night sitting outside with no money until my mom hitched us a ride the next day, found him passed out on the side of the road a couple hundred miles down the freeway. I used to take money from his wallet when he was like that. He caught me once, tied me up with a rope and said he was going to beat me, but was going to wait until he sobered up so he could enjoy it. He died in 1970. That whiskey just ruined him. My mom is another story. She's just a little itty bitty woman. 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, but she walked around like she was bigger than my dad. She thought she was the smartest thing going. She used to say, if I haven't seen it, I'll throw $1 at it. Meaning, that's how worldly she was, and this woman didn't know which way was up, God love her. She always wanted to be in with whoever I was in with, and all my friends were going to be her friends. All my friends were her friends, not because I made them like her, she made them like her. They used to come by to see me, and if I wasn't there, they'd just take her. They'd go to the beach or whatever. When she was older, my mom had a lot of problems. She had cancer and every damn thing else, but she also had strokes. She had strokes on top of her strokes. When it got real bad, my brother and sister were talking about admitting her to the hospital. She didn't want to go. I told them, look, you just tell me what she needs, and I'll see to it that she gets it. I will come over there and sleep in a sleeping bag at the foot of her bed if that's what I have to do. So one morning, I'm at my house and the phone rings. I answer it. It's my sister. She's hysterical. She's crying. She's panicking. She's incoherent. Now, I ran with a pretty rowdy bunch, and I'm into some pretty deep stuff at this point. So my impression is somebody's after her. Somebody's chasing her. Somebody's there to kill her. So I pull up, I see her run out of the house trying to climb over the gate. I know someone is chasing her. The adrenaline in me allows me to grab her and just lift her up right over the fence and set her down and say, what the fuck is going on? And she says, Mom's dead. We had her cremated. My friends and I got together and we made a monument. 14-foot tall heart, capped in red brick. My two carpenter friends got a cement box to put her ashes in. That son of a bitch weighed 300 pounds. Someone wrote a poem, we had it inscribed on a plaque. Another friend had these Panasonic speakers. We poured the footing of the heart, we left a spot to put the speakers in. They were fancy plexiglass so the music could escape, but no leaves could get in. We planted flowers and put in colored lights all around, and I had the whole thing hooked up with a reel-to-reel that my brother had. So every night at 6 o'clock, every night, that little reel-to-reel would kick on and play real soft every damn song Elvis ever made. Right there at that little gravesite for my mom. And then I got popped for murder. My brother would periodically send me pictures. Initially, the pictures were pretty soon after the fact, and after the next group of pictures I got, the flowers were up to 4 feet tall. And so I wrote to him, I said, what the hell's going on? No one's maintaining this. You gotta cut all that crap back because it's not looking like the way it was intended to be. And he said, okay. Well, after a while, he stopped writing because he had a stroke, and I thought it best not to worry about that anymore. Then one day he writes me, he says, call me. I need to talk to you. So I call him up and he says, I got rid of Mom. I said, what do you mean you got rid of Mom? He says, I dug her up. You dug her up? What are you talking about? He says, I got drunk and I dug her up. She paid on that insurance policy for 10 years to be buried with her parents at the cemetery in Mississippi. And then we pulled up the rug out from under her and kept her here in California. And I thought about that for a minute and I said, yeah, we did do that. My brother said, so I dug her up. I drove her to Mississippi and spread her ashes all over her mom and dad's grave. And I said, that's a good thing to do.
To my son, my whole childhood was a cycle. Do stupid shit, run away, get in trouble, and then do it all over again. Even as an adult, my go-to solution would be to run away from my problems. When I was 20, one thing led to another, everything caught up to me, and I ended up in prison. The worst part was that your mom was pregnant with you when I had to leave.
The experience in prison and going into county jails is a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what to expect. There's a lot of fear and... Oh, Sorry about that. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, it's my daughter now. Every day now I get up early, work out, take a shower, have a cup of coffee, call my daughter, and we just talk and talk. We talk every day. We didn't have a lot of contact on the inside, so I'll let her know I'm in a meeting and call her back later. So my problem started when I was a teenager.
To my younger self, I'm going to tell you now that unless you change your attitude, you're going to have a rough time adjusting to prison life. Don't play the victim. If you play the victim, you're going to end up with 9 altercations when you're convicted of 1. If you play the victim, you're going to be in maximum security for 32 years. Here's the deal. If you didn't provide the gun, he wouldn't be dead, so they're not interested in your innocence.
I discovered that I wanted to know how it was possible for me to kill somebody. So I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of introspection, a lot of retrospection, and I found that alcohol is an easy factor to point the finger at. You have a lot of choices in prison. Do I choose to join a gang? Do I choose to be violent? Do I choose to break a rule, or do I choose to do the opposite? At first, I was like on a precipice. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want trouble. I knew I didn't want to join a gang, but I wasn't sure what to do about other stuff, like the wine business. I knew that if I was going to get sober, I had to walk away from it. I couldn't continue to deal with the wine and not drink. So I had to walk away from the whole thing completely, and I did. It took me a few years, but March 14th, 1993, that was my sobriety day, and I've been clean and sober for 25 years.
Right off the bat, I didn't participate in any of that rehab stuff. For the first 12 years, I had the whole prison mindset. I became a willing participant with all the crap that goes on in there. It was all about survival. I told myself it was better to be an aggressor rather than a victim. But around 2013, it all changed.
They're going to tell you that you can't face the board until you have some kind of counseling, some kind of therapy for your behavior. Don't feel embarrassed about it. The report will tell you that you have lost impulse control. The best way to control this is to stop reacting to the little things going on in prison. Tolerate the behavior. The lower you go down, the more dysfunction and corruption you'll find in the system. And the worst part, racism and all that silly stuff, is in level 1. Those guys are coming in and out of prison.
Because for me, coming to prison one time was enough. Had enough shock value that I didn't ever want to come back. But I mean, talk about surreal. You're just like, how is this possible? And you gotta pinch yourself. It's crazy, It's just, it's really, really weird. And, I'm sorry. I'll tell her that I'm in an interview and, she sent me a picture of her lunch. You see? Oh my God, she's having a diced ham, a boiled egg, and cucumber slices. Oh man, my daughter's cool. We're like twins, and I don't know, it's really strange. We're really, really close. And sometimes father-daughter can be really weird. But I show her my lunch, we joke around a lot. Check this out. She'll know this isn't my lunch. We both have the weirdest sense of humor. We have our own language, our own jokes, and in some venues they wouldn't be appropriate, but I don't know, we're both just very funny, yeah.
I just got tired of the whole prison mindset. I realized that you were actually seeing the way I was behaving. I may have been in prison, but it didn't matter. Time and distance didn't matter. You were still seeing me, your father, as your role model. Ever since then, I haven't been the same. I finally had a chance to show you other things, how to be, and how to show you the right way.
When you get out, you're going to see your family. You'll be concerned about how they'll receive you. They're going to question whether or not you love them. You're going to get this kind of joy and warmth from your family that you won't be expecting. They can exaggerate some things. They've been telling your story over and over. You're their first experience with the prison system. They've got Hollywood's version in their minds.
She's in Indiana. She has a family of her own. Yeah, I know, she's all grown up. I want to eventually get a plane ticket and fly to Chicago. She says she would meet me at O'Hare and bring me down to South Bend. So, that would be great.
17 years. I was in prison for 17 years. I've been in prison for your entire life, but now I get to come home. I'm finally going to be able to be the father you and your mom deserve. You may not realize it, but you're the reason why I'm not spending the rest of my life in prison. If it weren't for you, I never would have changed my attitude, and I wouldn't have been able to get out. The child normally thanks the parent, but in this case, the roles have been reversed. So thank you.
Everyone is going to want to talk to you about your story. You've got a story to tell. You're going to find yourself talking about the same thing all the time. Your mind's not going to be able to escape that reality, but remember, you've got a story to tell.
All my life has been an uphill climb. No trial, no justice, just bars. What was I to do? How was I to survive?
I was the second person in California history of the state to be placed in prison without a trial.
Stuck in a hole, no way out. The most dangerous of all, put there, just stuck. An unfair moment.
I once thought of time as being neutral, and it's what I chose to do with it that really mattered. Leaving behind loved ones.
When are you coming home, Grandpa?
And reuniting with others.
How was your trip into the abyss? Did you encounter many hostile stares from staff?
Mom told me a long time ago that many of the things you did, you believed you didn't have a choice.
I meant what I said in every letter I've written you and Tyrone. If I could turn back the hands of time, the majority of my decisions would be different. Disappointing others, not shedding a tear though you are now gone. You were there, my beloved aunt. You saw me making my prom night possible.
No tears. It's survival mode here. Snapping out of it, immediately switching.
I felt very comfortable wearing a mask that not only hid my vulnerabilities, but transformed them into positives. I had to make like I was as brave and as hard as everyone who resided there.
Life is an uphill climb.
And remembering how much love that people give me.
I believe the first time I felt love was when my mother kissed me on the cheek and held my hand as I crossed the threshold and entered school for the first time. A mother's love, one that inspires confidence, direction, the capacity to endure and overcome. Later on, after being released, I stepped inside the house I grew up in. I saw my mother and I said to her, "You are my favorite girl." My kids, only 8 and 10 years old when I left, now 49 and 47. Where did the years go?
How did it happen so quick? Did I miss out?
I want more time. Life is an uphill climb. From believing to not, God's got me. He's there through and through. Growing up Christian, believing in Him, where did I go those years? Why stop believing? It's hard, but God's always there. He will never let me walk alone.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and staff comfort me. Life is an uphill climb.
There's a light at the end. If only I could make it there. Hoping, praying for a change.
It's not that I've given up on life. It's more so that I've learned how to greatly appreciate the time I have left. It's my goal to make the absolute best out of the remaining time. Life is too short for me to think any other way.
Life is an uphill climb.
I'm a few days past my 70th birthday. 70 was a milestone, 70 was
the age my grandfather was when he died. My parents were products of the roaring 20s, when children were seen and not heard, beaten and not given a reason why. That was how they raised me. That was why Grandpa saved me.
Saved me with gentleness, saved me with kindness, saved me with music. Trumpet, French horn, piano, he knew what they did to men in those days without a skill to keep them in the States and off the front lines.
Half of my high school class come back from the jungle broken, if they come back at all.
Half my generation lost. And this was when the government still cared. Imagine, I felt more optimistic about this country when it was killing my friends.
I run away from California, from my parents, from the holes Vietnam left in my life. I run all the way to New York like so many others before and after me.
I ran until suddenly I couldn't.
In New York, I have my whole world ahead of me.
After prison took away 22 years, after cancer left a hole in my chest, after turning 70 made me realize just how close the end is. And all I have left to do is choose what I do with my time.
And even though everything's new and exciting, I'm not afraid. When I am, I just think about my old piano recitals. Getting on stage, finding my grandpa in the audience, and letting go of everything. Just getting lost in the art.
I've been taking an acting workshop, and I write a lot. I wrote this piece about my grandfather, how he used to take me out of the house when my parents were fighting and show me the stars in the night sky. I read it out loud to a crowd. You know what? I wasn't afraid. It was just like playing the piano. I just pictured Grandpa and I wasn't afraid.
I take care of Michael. He's been moving slow because of his health. You know, isn't that right, Mr. Mike? Huh? There's this character that he plays. It's called Mr. Mike. You see, we have this cartoon, Mr. Magoo. He's this old guy with glasses, can't see very well, moving slow. And so, what was his name, Mr. Mike?
Mr. Magoo.
Right, Mr. Magoo. So we got Mr. Mike some Mr. Magoo glasses and a hat and a cane, and then voila, he's Mr. Mike. So I call him Mr. Mike. He plays the character, Mr. Mike. So he's always getting into character when I say, okay, Mr. Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, well, everybody I knew is gone. They're dead. My parents all died while I was in prison. My brother and sister died while I was in prison. My friends died while I was in prison. My relatives died while I was in prison. Everybody's dead or missing. Most of them dead. So when I got back, the only person I knew was Mike.
That's right.
He was, you know, our bedrooms are adjacent to each other, so he's up till 1 o'clock in the morning playing on his computer or watching TV.
Which he has no proof of.
Anyway, Mike hasn't been getting around too well, you know, and I am senior. He is younger than I am. Can you believe that? So I do the dishes, I cook for him every night, and we were like that for about 6 months, and then Mike said, you know, Ronnie, the county will pay you to take care of me, and I said, they will? Yeah, so he called up the county, and the county came out, and they said, we'll pay you to take care of him, so now I take care of Mr. Mike, and they pay me $1,000 a month, it's minimum wage, and you know.
It's not enough.
No, it's not enough, but I mean, it's better than nothing, and I'd be helping him anyway, so it's just extra.
That's true.
I spend most of the money on him anyway, but I don't tell him that. We have fun.
We have fun.
Good morning, all. I'm out here sitting on the Francisco Homes porch writing my journal. I got to enjoy my early morning walk today. Wow. It really makes a difference, let me tell you. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the neighborhood cat is always here at 4 a.m. waiting to just crawl into my lap and get a little head scratching in. However, it made me realize something this morning as I felt her purrs throughout my body. How much I crave the intimacy you get with someone you truly love. Sex is a part of that. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about being able to hold, cuddle, and smell. Just be with that special someone where you're on cloud 9 just being in their presence. That's what my body, heart, and soul are craving for very badly. I'm not feeling down now, even though I may sound like it. Okay, maybe a little bit. I'm very happy with where I am at this point in my life. It could be 100% better with that special someone you love. Because, you know, it's a little sad when you get that intimacy you crave from a damn cat. Especially when you're a dog person. Have a nice day, everyone.
It's been too long. You changed.
So good to see you. Wow, remember, be good. Stay out of the streets.
Look at you. What happened to your hair? Be good, man. Stay off the drugs.
Be good. Don't do drugs. They don't get it. They don't understand that. I don't want to go back. I left that shit behind, man. I have no desire to go back. I'm done with that. All that. Yet they still picture me as that kid. There's no more going back to the old ways. I mean, I'm 42 years old. I'm about to be 43. I spent 24 years in prison. You think I want to go back? You don't think I want to be good? You don't have to remind me. 24 wasted years. And you tell me shit like, remember, be good. Don't do drugs. It's fucking degrading. It's a trip. No one was good to me. Nobody was there. I was 24 years alone. 24 years alone. They expect me, a man who's been in prison since he was 18, to what? Just walk out and be okay? But I can't look back. I can't. I just gotta look forward. It's too easy to just revert to the old. I'm keeping up the fight for you.
You are a man of your word. You show it through action.
Your family accepts you for your past and they love you.
They want you to come live with them.
But you know you have to take care of things yourself.
You need to prove to yourself that you can be independent.
You are not the same person.
And you are going to prove it.
That's the person you are.
Samuel.
Leroy.
Steve.
Leo.
Damien.
Dan.
Jack.
Sam.
Larry.
Mo. Michael.
Eric. Ronnie. Ricky.
Francisco.
Welcome home.
Aren't here today, but if they were, we would like to thank them.
Mo's not here, but thank you for sharing your story with me, Mo.
Thank you, Jack, for sharing your story with me.
Gracias, Francisco.
Sam's not here, but thank you for sharing your story with me.
Thank you, Damien, for sharing your story with me and for helping me tell more Black stories.
Sam's not here, but thank you.
Leo, you sounded better on this system. You killed it.
I want to thank Michael for sharing his life story.
I want to thank Steve for sharing his intimacy with Baby Head.
Thank you, Larry, for sharing your story.
Thank you, Dan, for sharing your story, sir.
Thank you.